before I even start this video, I want to say please ignore any background noise. Rowan is napping right now, but we are dog sitting 3 dogs on top of our 2 dogs. So I have quite a bit of dogs in the house, as you can tell. So I don't know if they're gonna start barking, running around, playing with some toys, whatever. But hopefully they'll stay quiet for the duration of this video since Rowan is sleeping. I don't want him to wake up. I would like to get this video filmed. I also want to say I am so sorry for being gone for so long. I'm gonna go ahead and do a whole update video later on, kind of explaining what's been going on. I think it's been like 3-ish months since I've uploaded, so major apology, but I'm sure none of you really care though, because most of you are probably here for the title of this video. If you haven't already been subscribed to our channel or seen any of our previous videos, then you wouldn't know, but I'll go ahead and give you a little background about us. I was pregnant at 19 years old, ended up having our son Rowan back in April of 2019. It is now December of 2019. I am 20 years old and I am pregnant again with our second kid. I am just shy of 11 weeks, so I am just super close to being out of our first trimester, which is crazy because I feel like it has flown by. But this video is just gonna go ahead and be me kind of talking about how I found out I was pregnant and what our initial reactions were, because I feel like me finding out I was pregnant this time was completely different than me finding out I was pregnant with our first. I will go ahead and link the video down below, kind of talking about how I found out I was pregnant with our son Rowan, because polar opposites. So go ahead and check that one out after you guys watch this video. So to start, I was not on any sort of like hormonal birth control. I was kind of stuck in between whether or not I wanted to get the IUD. Ever since I had my son, I had been wavering on this idea. I hear lots of really amazing things about it, but then I also hear some really negative stories. So I've kind of been in this limbo of whether or not I actually wanted to get it or not. Because of this, we decided just to go ahead and track my ovulation using our basal body temperature, as well as ovulation little like strip test. If you didn't know you could do that, that is a thing. But we were tracking it with that, as well as using condoms. Long story short, condom ended up breaking. Go figure, just our luck. And I didn't think too much of it because I wasn't even close to ovulating at the time, so we just kind of let it be and moved on and didn't think much of it. However, about a week and a half later, I started to get nauseous, but it was mostly just in the car. And so I didn't think too much of it, just because I have like my 3 closest friends out here in Hawaii are all pregnant. One of them is literally gonna have her baby probably sometime this week. The other 2 are both due in May of next year. So obviously they've all been nauseous and uncomfortable and been feeling all the usual pregnancy stuff. So I just thought maybe I was picking up some sympathy pains, you know, getting car sick just like them. I just kind of brushed the nausea off. However, every time it happened, I did mention it to my friends and they were like, Kayla, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Girl, are you pregnant? But I kept being like, I don't know, probably not. After that, I also started to get some lower back achy, crampy feelings, which was miserable. It was like enough where I definitely noticed and was definitely complaining about it. And I had no clue why it was happening. It felt like I was gonna get my period, but it was a whole week before my period was even due. It made absolutely no sense to me. It was so bad that like carrying Rowan was really, really uncomfortable, and standing was uncomfortable. I just had to always sit down and like relax, and it was just miserable. And that was kind of a big giveaway to me, where I was kind of like, okay, like something's going on here, because this never happens to me before my period. Never happens to me in general, but it's a whole week before my period, and that whole situation happened. Like, oh no, I think I might be pregnant. So I started getting a little paranoid when that started happening, and that happened for like a couple days off and on, and was pretty bothersome. On top of that, I feel like I know, you know, what my typical body looks like normally, and I could definitely tell that I was bloated. Anyone else probably would tell you that I didn't look bloated whatsoever, but I could tell that I was bloated, and I never get bloated before my period. Oddly enough, I actually lose weight when my period comes around, so I thought it was really bizarre that I was really bloated as my period was approaching. Along with this, my period was supposed to come. I had like an app where I was like logging my ovulation test and logging my temperature and everything, and my period was supposed to come anywhere from Sunday to the following Wednesday. So I had like a 4 or so day kind of room of when my period was supposed to come. However, this app had been pretty accurate predicting my period and would always come the first day. So sure enough, Sunday comes around, I did not get my period, and I took a pregnancy test. I think I took like a first response or test or something, and it came up negative. So I was like, okay, not pregnant, it'll probably come tomorrow or something. So of course the next day, Monday, comes around and I don't get my period. I didn't take a test this day because I just thought it'll come. It was negative yesterday, it's not gonna be positive today, like my period will come, like let's just wait it out. Tuesday comes around, I decide I'm gonna take a test this morning. So I go ahead and I take like this cheap little strip test that I got with the ovulation test I was using. It was like the Pregnate test. So I took one of those, and I also took a Clearblue digital. I don't know why I thought that would come up positive, but I took it just so I could know for my own sanity. And sure enough, negative. So at this point I was like, I'm probably not pregnant, it's whatever. But my friend Aaliyah, who's literally gonna be having her baby any day now, was like, take a pregnancy test with me, take like a pink dye first response, early response test. Like that will tell you if you're pregnant or not. When she was found out she was pregnant, she said she got like a super faint line that she could barely see, but she has really good eyes for this stuff, and just to take a test with her. So I was like, you know what, sure, I'll take a test with you, why not? So I took a test with her, and I came out, and I had like my two other friends who were there who were also pregnant, and I was like, I don't know guys, I think this is pretty negative. Showed my two friends, and they were like, yeah, no, that looks pretty negative to us. And my friend Aaliyah was like, no, I swear there's a line there. And she was like holding a light to it, showing me like there's a pink line there, like if it was an indent line or like a false whatever line, it wouldn't be pink, it would be like a grayish or like super like translucent kind of line. And I was like, yeah, I see like that faint pink line when you hold the light up to it, but like I don't consider that a positive. Like I don't think I'm pregnant. I'm sure my period will come tomorrow, Wednesday, which is the last day that my app says it's supposed to come. So I go ahead, wait till the next morning, and I decide to take a test in the morning because my periods are pretty normal. I think I mentioned this in my video with Rowan, how I found out I was pregnant with him, but my periods, even since having a baby, always like at 3 a.m. I'll wake up with like a crampy feeling in my stomach. It'll linger through the morning, and then I'll get up, go to the bathroom, and my period will come. So when Wednesday morning came around and I didn't have any cramps and I didn't have my period, I was like, let's take a test. So I went ahead and took a first response, early response, pink dye test again. And I could have sworn that I saw a super faint line. I don't know if I have a picture of it from like when I first looked at it. If I do, I'll insert it somewhere. But it was again the same situation of the night, or I guess like afternoon prior, back on Tuesday with my friend Aaliyah. It was like super duper faint. If you held it to a light, kind of see it, but really faint, and I didn't consider it a positive yet, but I was like sending it to my friends. I was like, I think I see something, I don't know. And Aaliyah was like, yeah, I totally see something. My other friend was like, nope, I think you're stressing yourself out, like your period will come, like just stop worrying about it. I'm like, you're right, I'm gonna stop worrying about it. So obviously during this conversation, it's probably like a minute or two has passed. The test has now been like taken for 3 minutes, and I think it's like valid up to 5 minutes or something like that. So I go back and look at it, and the line was darker, and I was like, oh, hold up, maybe it is positive, maybe there is something there, maybe I just needed to wait the whole test window. So I went ahead and was like, oh my goodness, decided to take a cheapo little test again, just because I remember reading, I'm in like a young moms Facebook group, and one of them had mentioned that when they went and took their pregnancy test, the first response, early response test was coming back negative. Apparently when they went ahead and took a little strip test, that one actually came up way more positive and was showing a positive before the first response, early response test. So I was like, you know what? If this first response test is positive, then this Pregnate test will definitely come up positive. Let's go ahead and take this little strip. So I took the strip, and I was watching it, and I was like, oh, I think I see something. And I was like, nah, nothing's there. And then I was like, oh my God, no, something's totally there. Like, I definitely think I see something. I think I have a picture of this still. I'll insert it here if I do. I sent it to my friend Aaliyah, and I was like, girl, tell me I'm crazy, but I think I see something. We had a quick conversation for like a minute. So then I went back and looked at the test after like 2 or 3 minutes, and it was a for sure positive. I definitely think I have this picture, so I will insert it somewhere, but it was definitely positive. It was definitely faint. Like, it wasn't like my positive with Rowan. When I found it with Rowan, it was like the first 2 seconds, the darkest line ever showed up. But no, it was definitely a positive. After that, I went ahead and took a digital and the digital said pregnant. So I was kind of mind blown because I'd taken all 3 types of these tests the day prior, less than like 24 hours ago, and they all said not pregnant. We're all completely negative. The first response, early response one was kind of like, we were all pretty convinced that it was negative except for Aaliyah. But then literally less than 24 hours later, they all were saying pregnant. So I was pretty shocked. I didn't think that I was really pregnant. I was really stressed that maybe it wasn't going to be a viable pregnancy just because my hormone level wasn't showing enough on the test when I thought it was supposed to be. But obviously everything worked out great, and the pregnancy is healthy, but I was shocked. I really did not expect to be pregnant, especially because I didn't get a positive on that first response, early response. And it says that it's supposed to be positive like 6 days before your missed period. And obviously, no matter how you look at it, whether it was a Sunday that I was supposed to get my period or the Wednesday, I was taking it 6 days before my period and it was still coming up negative. So I'm going to be doing a whole separate video on how I told my parents and our friends and kind of what their reactions were. I did film I think I filmed like how my parents reacted to us telling them we were pregnant with our first kid, and I feel like their reaction was completely different than it was this time. So if you want to see that video, I'll link it down below. You guys can go ahead and check it out. And then I will also be doing a video kind of recapping my first trimester, what my symptoms were, and how it's been going, because that's also been a polar opposite from my first trimester with Rowan. So I will let you guys know all of that. And then we are going to be doing a gender reveal, not like a big party or anything, just like I'll film a cute little video announcing the gender. We are supposed to find out in maybe like 3-4-ish weeks. All of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video and sticking through it. I know it was probably long and really rambly, but we're really excited. I hope you guys are excited to go on this little journey with us. If you don't already, follow us on our Instagrams. I'll have them all on the screen, as well as links down below for you guys to go ahead and check out. I would say that the most active is probably my personal Instagram, and then like our family Instagram. You guys can go ahead, follow us over there, and I'll probably be doing a Q&A down the line. So if you want to be involved in that, make sure you follow us on our family Instagram, because that's usually where I post questions for Q&As, and I will see you guys next